Go ahead.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. When Michael Mann was producing the original Miami Vice TV series, in the third season, he started taking some chances, and he did an episode in which the good guys are called off a drug bust because if they busted this particular drug dealer, it would have destroyed a couple of the big banks in Florida. And they were told, you got to stay away from this one. We're sorry. It's just that big and that powerful. The money is too powerful to fight. And it's all about the money. And it's all counterfeit money. We have been taught to worship the dollar as a new religion, and there's nothing behind it. It's just a funny printed piece of paper. Now they're trying to come up with another one, the carbon credit. That, too, is just a funny printed piece of paper.
And we've been taught to worship Al Gore. Great job, Mike. Talk to you again soon.
We're on the march.
All right, I want to go over a whole bunch of news. I want to play a audio clip from the Council on Foreign Relations. We've got clips of Al Gore being confronted because the New York Times finally reported he's making all this money off of the climate scam. But the New York Times says it's like it's good. Isn't it good he's making billions? And then they only tell you about the smaller scams he's carrying out. So we'll be breaking that down. Before I do that, I just want to tell you we're going to have open phones in the next hour on any issue you wish to discuss. They're not open yet. We're going to have phone blitz next hour with some other important news. And then we've got Gary Franchi and William Lewis here in studio today. They're here to film part 2 of their Camp FEMA with me, so why not have them in studio? That should be interesting. Always informative. But I wanted to stop here for a moment and explain to people. There's no more denial. There's no more playing games. There's no more time to rationalize. Not only has world government been admitted by the big central bankers, by Ban Ki-moon, the head of the UN, by Al Gore, by Barack Obama, by Prince Philip, Ted Turner, Bill Gates, but the specifics of the world government have been admitted in hundreds of textbooks, white papers, and documents. But not just in textbooks now like eco-science that I talk about so much, written by the White House science czar, John P. Holdren, but in editorials in the New York Times called We Can Do It, Ban Ki-moon, Global Governance. We have the treaty. I went over it yesterday. I'm going to cover it some more today. They're now debating the passage in the Senate. That's why the Democrats haven't been pushing it the last month. They admitted they were going to wait and race in November to pass it, and now they're going to push it. Merkel, the German chancellor, was here today. That's all coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, people aren't sophisticated. They don't understand. They don't know what's happening to them. They know they're getting screwed. They know they're getting hammered. They know they're getting nailed to the wall. They know we're in deep trouble. They know the economy's getting worse, that a jobless recovery is a Orwellian doublespeak oxymoron. If 20 million Americans could see Fall of the Republic, and then if they took action and called their congressmen and went to City Hall and called the corporations that are behind all of this up on the phone and boycotted people and got active, we could turn this around. My films, conservatively. You know, it's like Mike Rivero earlier said, 90% of the phone calls to Congress. No, Barbara Boxer, who was pro-banker bailout, said it was 1,000 to 1 phone calls. Gallup poll showed 99% of people were against the banker bailout takeover of last October. So see, Mike said 90%. I tend to do the same thing too. I tend to lessen how bad things really are. But the issue is 99% of people, when they're presented with carbon taxes and global government, don't want it. But we need to show them the specifics because we're settling in for a long battle. It's going to be, they can pass legislation to let private banks and corporations regulate and tax us. England's already done it. It was in the Times of London last week where private groups come and take your house and your car and your home and for fines and fees. No judge, no jury. We can stop these people if you will take action. And I have the film that can do this. This is the film with their own statements, their own admissions of how they want world government, how they're going to control your life, how they plan on doing it, all the horrible things they want to carry out. These are very wicked control freaks with an instinct towards domination and control. And so my films have been seen by more than 100 million people. And that's a conservative number, just like Mike's 90%, when it was 99% in the news. We're against the banker bailout. Over 100 million times. So we're making a major contribution here towards awakening people. But it's not enough. We need all of you that are awake to do more and to get involved. And I've never made a film this powerful. Over 20 million views on YouTube and Google alone for the Obama deception. Over 100 million views we know of for my films free online. It is incalculable what people have done with the DVDs, making copies. Make history. Hurt these people. Fight back. Know that it's going to be a delayed reaction, but that when you burn copies of the Obama deception and Endgame and Fall of the Republic, the Fall of the Republic is what's happening now. This was made for the fight we're now facing. It shows everything. And people see it now and then see what I'm talking about on the news, but this gives them all the answers. I want to ask you right now to call the toll-free number and order this DVD. I want to ask you to go to InfoWars and order this DVD and to get it and to buy a DVD burner and a bunch of DVD blanks and to make copies and to give it to your neighbors and say this is a dynamic, important film about global taxes and what's happening and about the death of the dollar and about the private banks and how they engineered the crisis. You can even give them the big McClatchy article by an award-winning reporter with the documents from inside Goldman Sachs, how they engineered the banking collapse to consolidate power. The top technicians of the private banks nest inside Goldman Sachs, the brokerage firm. We have all these top professors, all the experts in here laying it out. This film is so important. I cannot stress to you how important. Please be part of history. Order the DVD at 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139. Go to Infowars.com and order it. Make copies. Get it out to people. This is the cure to the New World Order. This is an amazing film. This explains it all. This is a testament to our enemies. The Russians were trained to submit to government. They didn't fight Lenin and Stalin. The Germans were trained to submit to government. Americans haven't been like that. Though we have been buffaloed and broke back and trained to capitulate in the last few decades, we can awaken that American spirit again with this documentary film if you will make it great, if you will make it huge. Yeah, it's been seen millions of times already in a week and a half online. Yeah, massive downloads at prisonplanet.tv. Yes, reports of folks making copies of it everywhere. That isn't enough. I don't want you to double your previous efforts. I don't want you to triple them. I don't want you to quadruple them. I want you to do whatever it takes to get this film and to get it out to everyone and to air it on Access TV and to give it to your city council and to give it to leaders in your area.